Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I can even say girl correctly, we're already off to a bad start. This is probably one of my two favorite videos to make all year. So it is like 10:30 something on December 28th.
Sign in button.
And if my computer wants to keep running its mouth, we're not going to have a video. Anyway, so this is something new that I'm trying. So you know how every year I do my top 100 favorite players. That will be coming out tomorrow on December 30th. But it's weird saying tomorrow because I'm making this on the 28th. So the video I'm making now comes out on the 29th. Anyway, so it's sort of that week, like Christmas is over, but it's not New Year's yet. So time to drop this video. In 2020, I dropped it in the last week of November. And last week, I finally put in December. So now it's just going to be in December every time. But anyway, this is the award show that we have. I have a nice little tie and everything. So, if you've been keeping up with it, my top 100 list, I have been putting players on lists, and I call them all-stars. So we're going to get started with the all-stars, let's just say. And these are players that have the honor of making the list. Because there's like 1,500 players or something that play every year. Yeah, people retiring, people getting called up, getting sent down, people getting traded, released. And if you are going to make these lists, I like you, or like you at one point. So, we're going to start with the 3-time All-Stars. And these are players that have made the 2020, 2021, and 2022 list. There's also sort of spoilers who's going to be on the top 100 list. You just don't know what order they're in. So, let's get started. 3-time All-Stars, we have Juan Soto, Javier Baez, Mike Trout, Brian Hayes, Michael Brantley, Anthony Rizzo, Pete Alonso, Madison Bumgarner, Matt Scherzer, Whit Merrifield, Evan Longoria, Justin Verlander, Charlie Blackmon, Nolan Arenado, Zach Greinke, Charlie Morton, Alex Verdugo, Jeff McNeil, Gleyber Torres, Jock Peterson, Bo Bichette, Albert Pujols, Jacob deGrom, Trey Turner, Walker Buehler, Manny Machado, Trey Mancini, Andrew McCutchen, Josh Donaldson, Lance Lynn, Bryce Harper, Rhys Hoskins, Carlos Santana, Kyle Hendricks, Chris Bryant, Wilson Contreras, Joey Votto, Shohei Ohtani, Kenley Jansen, Yadier Molina, and Francisco Lindor. So that is 41 players. And if you take all the All-Star selection, that equals to 123 players, but it's 41 of them, because this is a small club that 41 men have been on here 3 times for all 3 lists. And some of that will not be continuing for sure, because our Pujols and Yadier Molina announced that they're both retiring, so they're not going to be on this list. Carlos Santana getting near the end of his career, Zach Greinke getting near the end of his career, and we might see new faces come up. So this club is going to be small for the 4-time All-Star until we see who's the last one to stand. Now for the 2-time All-Star, you have made 2 lists, whether it was 2020 and 2021, or you're on the 2021 and 2022 list, or even 2020 you went on the list in 2021 and then you made it back in 2022. Time to shout out those people. We have Brett Gardner, who basically retired. I missed him. Jose Soler, Joey Gallo, Pablo Sandoval, Miguel Sano, Eddie Rosario, Kyle Seager, Michael Conforto, Tyler Glasnow, Matt Joy, Clint Frazier, Austin Meadows, Julio Urias, Brian Anderson, J.P. Crawford, Kyle Tucker, Cedric Mullen, Mike Yastrzemski, Pavin Smith, Jose Altuve, Alex Bregman, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Ian Happ, Brandon Nimmo, George Springer, Brian Reynolds, Zach Wheeler, Sean Murphy, Miguel Cabrera, Paul Goldschmidt. And that is 30 players that have been on 2 separate lists. Now, some of this is because they were a rookie in 2021, and then they got onto the list again in 2022, so they couldn't be in the club. Or someone like Miguel Cabrera, who announced his retirement after the last year, so he's going to be in the 3 club, and then he won't be on any future list. And now we have the big one, the 1-time All-Stars. You have only made 1 list out of 3 years. And there's a lot of them. There's 117, so let's just get started. This is going to be pretty long. DJ LeMahieu, Adalberto Mondesi, Matt Kemp, Luis Castillo, Trevor Bauer, Adam Jones, Sonny Gray, Ramon Laureano, Gary Sanchez, Ketel Marte, Nicholas Castellanos, Shane Bieber, Gio Urshela, Cole Hamels, Luke Boyd, Ken Giles, Adam Eaton, Jacoby Jones, Justin Smoke, Simsu Chu, Hunter Pence, Felix Hernandez, Sean Doolittle, Andrelton Simmons, Didi Gregorius, Garrett Cole, Matt Chapman, Yu Darvish, Eduardo Escobar, Yohan Moncada, Aroldis Chapman, Yasiel Puig, Lucas Giolito, Jose Abreu, Emilio Pagan, Brandon Kingler, JT Realmuto, Paul DeYoung, Kirby Yates, Dustin Pedroia, Nick Anderson, Devin Williams, Josh Bell, Adisel Garcia, Jack Flaherty, Carlos Correa, Salvador Perez, Brandon Crawford, Marcus Semien, Jake Cronenworth, Matt Olson, Brian De La Cruz, Nick Madrigal, Mitch Haniger, Will Meyer, Wander Franco, Corbin Byrne, Adolis Garcia, Jerison Profar, Chris Taylor, Teoscar Hernandez, Robbie Ray, Akil Badu, Ronald Gritchett, Kyle Schwarber, Buster Posey, Patrick Wisdom, Liam Hendricks, Chris Bassett, Pablo Lopez, Jackie Bradley Jr., Brandon Lau, Marcus Stroman, DJ Peters. Then we have Julio Rodriguez, Yordan Alvarez, Christian Walker, Dalton Varsho, Jeremy Pena, Bobby Witt Jr., Luis Guillorme, Jose Mateo, Austin Hayes, Jaron Duran, MJ Melendez, Josh Naylor, CJ Abram, Brendan Donovan, Christian Javier, Anthony Santander, Ryan Mountcastle, Edwin Diaz, Tommy Edmond, Alex Manoa, Santiago Espinal, Ryan Presley, Brett Phillips, Shane McClanahan, Ty France, Ryan Helsley, Spencer Strider, Sandy Alcantara, Stephen Kwan, Logan Webb, Tristan McKenzie, Joe Ryan, Mark Hanna, Joe Musgrove, AJ Pollock, Lourdes Gorio Jr., Sam Haggerty, Dustin May, Jason Hayward, Jose Ramirez, Camilo Doval, Andres Jimenez, Leody Taveras. And that wraps up all 117 players. So if you break it down into the division, for the National League, there was 155 players, with 45 coming from the NL Central. From the NL East, you have 57. From the NL West, 53 players. In the American League, you have 145 players. And from the AL Central, 37, the lowest. And then 58 from the AL East and 50 from the AL West. So that totaled 300 players, and that's where they all come from the list. But now let's get into the main part of this video, the award. And why don't we start in 2020? So we're going to start in 2020 because that's where this all started. And I went back and found all the stats and the numbers for your Cy Young, Rookie of the Year, and MVP. Those are the three ones that we are going to be doing here. So sorry to Gold Gloves or Hungarian Awards or whatever else. Maybe next time, but not this year. So let's start with the Cy Young Award. Let's do that. Our first candidate, I have the top three here. First candidate, we have Shane Bieber. In 2020, he had an ERA of 163 with a record of 8-1, 122 strikeouts. He was in 12 games, and that was 77 in the third inning. He won the Cy Young in real life for the Cleveland Indians, now Guardians, in 2020. Our second candidate for this award, we have Trevor Bauer with a 173 ERA with a record of 5-4, 100 strikeouts, and 11 games in 73 innings, because remember this was the 60-game shortened season. And our third candidate, we have Yu Darvish, an ERA of 2.01 with a record of 8-3, with 93 strikeouts and 12 games and 76 innings pitched. Now, how I come up with these three players? I had Devin Williams was up here since he was a pitcher, and so you had to be on the 2020 list. That means everyone was eligible. And when you do that, you pick people on that list, and that's how you become eligible. Let's see. Jack Greinke was eligible. Charlie Morton was eligible. Matt Scherzer was eligible. They didn't have as good as stats. So in third place, Yu Darvish. And then in second, Trevor Bauer. And with the LT All-Star Awards, whatever we're calling this, Shane Bieber won the 2020 Cy Young Award. Congratulations to Mr. Bauer. Not Bauer. Bieber. Oh, my lord. That's what you get for looking at wrong names for too long. Next, we're going to the MVP Award, and you'll see why we're doing this in a second. So for the MVP for 2020, we have our top three again. We have Jose Abreu of the Chicago White Sox with a 317 batting average, 19 home runs, 60 RBIs, no stolen bases. He had 76 hits with a 370 on base percentage, 617 slugging percentage, and a 987 OPS in all 60 games. Second, we have Mike Trout, 281 batting average with 17 home runs, 46 RBIs, 1 stolen base, 56 hits, a 390 on base percentage, 603 slugging, and a 993 OPS in 53 games. And Manny Machado is our third representative here. He had a batting average of 304 with 16 home runs, 47 RBIs, 6 stolen bases, 68 hit, 370 on base, 580 slugging, and a 950 OPS. And he played all 60 games as well. So, again, looked at the people on this list, and they had the best three. In third place, we have Manny Machado. Second was Mike Trout, and winning the MVP award is Jose Abreu. And the reason we did that is because since this was the first year of the list, that means whoever got MVP or Cy Young was in contention for the Rookie of the Year. So instead of reading all their stats again, I'll just give you the results. So in third place, Mike Trout got third, Shane Bieber got second in the Rookie of the Year, and Jose Abreu, the MVP, also takes home the Rookie of the Year. And that wraps up 2020. And now, let's go to... Oop, and I hit the wrong button. Now let's go to 2021. In 2021, we can start... Let's start with the MVP on this one. And then in 2022, we'll start with the Rookie of the Year, so that way all three gets one plate to start at. So starting with the MVP, we have Juan Soto as a candidate. So what I did was, I took the stats from 2020 and 2021 and averaged them out and added them together. So he had an average of a 332 batting average for Mr. Juan Soto with a total of 42 home runs, 132 RBIs, 15 stolen bases over that 2-year span, 211 hits, 478 on base, 615 slugging, and a 1,092 OPS. Crazy, and he played 198 games. Our second person in contention was Trea Turner. He also had a 332 batting average with 40 home runs, 118 RBIs, 44 stolen bases, 273 hits, had the most in that span, with 380 on base, 562 slugging, and a 947 OPS, and he played 207 games. And finally, we have a pitcher here, Juilioeurious of the Dodgers. He had a 3.12 ERA with a record of 23-3. Stupid good. That's like winning 89% of your games. That's ridiculous. With 240 strikeouts in 43 games and 240 in the third inning. Crazy. Flat out crazy. So, in third place, Juilioeurious gets third in the MVP. Second is Trea Turner. And first place in our MVP is Juan Soto, just edging out Trea Turner based on the stats. But that takes us over to the Cy Young. It sort of gives it away. If Juilioeurious is top 3 in the MVP, then we'll see who these pitchers are. But who did he have to beat? Kind of giving away. He won the Cy Young. First one, Matt Scherzer is here. For Matt Scherzer, between 2020 and 2021, he averaged having a 3.10 ERA with a record of 20-8 with 328 strikeouts, and that was in 42 games, and he pitched 246 and 2/3 innings. Here we go again with Juilioeurious. You know that 3.12 ERA, record of 23-3. Just wanted to say that part again because that's stupid good. 240 strikeouts, again 43 games, and 240 in the third innings. So Matt Scherzer was on the Dodgers in 2021. Juilioeurious was on the Dodgers in 2021, and that means Walker Buehler, the third person here, also on the Dodgers in 2021. And he had an ERA of 2.96 with a record of 17-4 with 254 strikeouts, 42 games, and again 240 in the third inning, just like Juilioeurious. And so Matt Scherzer comes in third in this one. Walker Buehler gets second in this Cy Young, and Juilioeurious is your 2020/2021 Cy Young Award. Now you might be wondering what happened to Shane Bieber and Trevor Bauer and them. Well, on you Darvish, none of them made the 2021 list, so that means I couldn't take their stats, so you had to be on both lists in order to qualify. And now we have Rookie of the Year, where it's only their 2021 stats. So up first, we have Kyle Tucker of the Astros. He had a 294 batting average with 30 home runs, 92 RBIs, 14 stolen bases, 149 hits, and a 359 on base percentage, 557 slugging percentage, and a 917 OPS, and now he's in 140 games in 2021. Next, Salvador Perez made his debut on the list for 273 batting average, 48 home runs, 121 RBIs, 1 stolen base, and he had 169 hits, 316 on base, 544 slugging, and an 859 OPS, and now he's in 161 games. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. for 311 batting average, 48 home runs, 111 RBIs, 4 stolen bases, 188 hits, 401 on base, 601 slugging, and a 1,002 OPS in 161 games. You can clearly tell going off of the stats who the winner was in this one. Third place, Kyle Tucker. Second place, Salvador Perez. And first one, Dwight Smith Jr., the Orioles. Congratulations, Dwight Smith Jr. No, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. clearly wiping the floor with this one very dominant win. And now for 2022 stats. And again, we're starting with the Rookie of the Year. Yeah, that's what I said. I blinked because I'm like, wait a second, were you in the other category? I just got Salvador Perez and Yordan Alvarez mixed up. Wow, don't even ask me now. So, Yordan Alvarez, the first one here, so let's talk about him. So, Yordan Alvarez made a debut to the 2022 list, and he had a 306 batting average with 37 home runs, 97 RBIs, 1 stolen base, 144 hits with a 402 on base, 613 slugging, an OPS of 119, and that was in 135 games. We have Jose Ramirez making a scene here with a 280 batting average with 29 home runs, 126 RBIs, 20 stolen bases, 168 hits with a 355 on base, 514 slugging, and a 869 OPS, and that was in 157 games. And our third person here is Sandy Alcantara, the Marlins, making his debut to the 2022 list, and his ERA was 2.28 with a record of 14-9 with 207 strikeouts, and that was in 32 starts, and that was 228 and 2/3 innings. So, for the results for the Rookie of the Year, we have Sandy Alcantara, the Marlins, coming in third, Jose Ramirez and the Guardians in second, and Yordan Alvarez clearly coming in first for the Astros. Congratulations. Now, let's do the Cy Young. When you Cy Young MVP? Nah, the MVP can be second this time. And then we'll finish with the Cy Young. So, MVP. This is the accumulation of all 3 years. So, it'll be on the 2020, 2021, and 2022 list. And if you just look at some of these stats, they are monstrous. So, for MVP, we have Matt Scherzer in the ERA of 283 with a record of 31-13. He was winning everything with 501 strikeouts, over 500 strikeouts, ridiculous. That was in 55 games and 392 innings. Just a huge sample size to go off of. That's what I love about this. The sample size is just so big. You have people like Justin Verlander, people like Jacob deGrom, that they got injured, and that's why they went in. That's why Mike Trout was only in 2021, because someone like Mike Trout, someone like Bryce Harper, if you're hurt, you. Hi, Mom.
I just want to let you know, at 10:30 at night, I'm getting ready to come out to the refrigerator. So you come around the corner, be careful of the refrigerator door.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome. Okay, the door is closed.
Okay, thanks. So that's why, like, Mike Trout, Trey Turner, Mike Trout, Bryce Harper, whatever isn't here, because they had injury-riddled seasons, so it cuts into their counting stats and their sample sizes. So if, like, you give it the sample size to someone with a bigger, get the award to someone with a bigger sample size, for what I'm trying to say. So second, we have Trey Turner here, making his debut, his return. And he had a 320 batting average with 61 home runs, 218 RBIs, 71 stolen bases, 467 hits over 3 years. It's ridiculous. And one of those was a shortened season. On base, 371. Slugging was 530. An OPS of 901. And that was in 367 games. Ridiculous. And Manny Machado is here. And he had a 293 batting average with 76 home runs, 250 RBIs, 27 stolen bases, 397 hits with an on-base percentage of 361, 533 slugging, and an 895 OPS, and that was in 363 games. So going into the awards, we have third place Manny Machado, second place Max Scherzer, and Trey Turner picks up the. He will be your reigning MVP. So when we do this again next year in 2023, we'll see if he can defend it. I hate being sick. And then finally, the Cy Young Award. You already just want to know who won it since Matt Scherzer went in the MVP conversation, but we'll read you the stats of his competitors. Cy Young, Matt Scherzer, 283, 2.83 ERA, record 31-13. Hey, reversal numbers. Over 500 strikeouts at 501, 55 games, 392 innings. He's going against Jacob deGrom with an ERA of 2.18, with a record of 16-8. With 352 strikeouts, and that was in 38 games and 224 in the third inning. Just look at how many less games deGrom pitched than Scherzer because he was injured, and that sort of hurts your chances. And then we have Lance Lynn here, an ERA of 3.33, record 21-16 with 389 strikeouts, and that was in 62 games and 362 and 2/3 innings. And so for the awards, third place Jacob deGrom, second place Lance Lynn, and in first place Max Scherzer with your Cy Young. So that is all the award that we have. Hope you enjoyed this video, and then come back tomorrow. We'll have the top 100 favorite players, not best, favorite. And hope to see you in that video. Bye.